Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining here. We can see people joining, so let us give just 2 minutes.
Okay, we can start. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Arvind. Hello, everyone. Thanks again for joining here. So let me share my screen, and I will request Arvind to give introduction. Okay, so Arvind, the screen sharing should be working. If you can see, please start.
Yeah, make it a full mode, presenter mode. Yeah, thank you. So thank you everyone. Thank you for the joining these sessions. I'm founder of Proinception, and we are going to, take this unlock AI powered document intelligence with Nintex K2, and we'll see how it works. So go to next slide. So meet the speaker today. My name is Arvind Kumar. I'm founder, and we have Abdul Muttalib, who is a CTO. So we both are like Nintex and low code and AI developers proficient, and we are going to talk about these use cases and how it works with Nintex automations. And ProInception is Nintex premium partner. We are working across the globes since last 10 years. We are providing these services on Nintex K2 and Nintex CE, Nintex Clouds, low-code RPA solutions. Go to next. So the today agenda, like what we are going to talk, like what are the document bottlenecks, and then K2 intelligence, what are there in the K2 AI inside of K2, and then installation and configuration of the AI with K2, and then some custom LLM with Gemini and live demo, and we can go with the question and answer. So in this document bottleneck, like what we are going to see, like mainly like a manual keying is the process. So whenever our customers have a lot of manual process, like when they have some invoice, extract the information from invoice, or there are any image like passport or maybe some kind of documents where they want to extract the information. So that becomes a kind of a manual entry, like they have to go and validate it and put that data manually, and that becomes a kind of a challenge. So we will see how overcome with that. And then cloud AI blocked by policy. So I mean, with K2, Nintex K2, you can use cloud AI and on-prem solutions as well. So you can use your on-prem AI LLMs, and through that you can extract the information. And apart from that, K2 has given the facility like Nintex, you can use your own LLM, cloud LLM, like you can say any ChatGPT, Claude, or you can say Gemini, and then based on that, you can write your, LLM and train them, and then you can use them into Nintex K2 forms, view, or workflow through a smart object. And then traditional OCR is not enough, like go and extract the information. It's not like only so more kind of more advanced, complex extraction of the information that we can handle it. So AI sat next to the platform. So it's not like with your Nintex in K2. So it sat with the platforms like you have another services in K2. Once you install, you will have another services, and then along with another a smart object and then service layer, you can integrate with your custom LLM, and then you can bring that LLM inside K2 forms and smart objects, and you can use that into your solution. So go to next. I will hand over to Abdul from here. Abdul is going to talk about next. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Arvind. Yeah, hello everyone again. So yeah, we are going to see two things today. Number one is K2's capabilities when it comes to AI, what it offers in 5.9.1, and then Pro Inception's custom solution. So that's number two. So we are going to see these two today. And to begin with, we are going to see what comes in 5.9.1 related to the K2 intelligence. Okay, so K2 has its own LLM and it has given some capabilities. So we can use that just like we make a call to any smart object. So we will see that in a live demo. But so here you can see that how actually you can install it. The K2 intelligence service comes as a separate installer. So if you have already done some installation, you would have noticed that we have one installer for K2 server, and then this will be another separate installer. So it's optional. You can install that, um, and it will be a Windows service, just like K2 service that you notice on the services. You will see a new service called K2 Intelligence. Okay, so once that is installed, you will have a new service broker related to the K2 intelligence and also option to generate smart object that is natively given by K2. Okay. So I'm just moving to the next slide. Okay. So as I said earlier, currently in 5.9.1, K2 provides local LLM. Okay. So you cannot use public LLM as of now, but K2 is working on. I think this year we are expecting a next release 5.10 in which we will have that capability. So using K2's native LLM, we can do 4 steps. So which we can see in the next slide. Okay, let me just go there and come back again. Yeah, sorry. So here you can see the second step, built-in actions out of the box. Sentiment analysis, severity, summarization, and language detections. These 4 built-in actions are provided by K2 in 5.9.1 for now. We can make use of that. We are also going to show a demo how we can make use of that. Okay. Okay, so when you install K2 Intelligence, so you can go either for a full setup. A full setup will come, as I said earlier, like a service broker, instance, smart objects, everything will be ready. Or you can install separately only the K2 Intelligence service, and then you can host AI engine and another server. So we have 3 options during installation. You can choose based on your requirement. So we got some during installation. We got some findings, so which we have put here. Sometimes we get a problem related to port already in use, then the service type or instance fails. So we have come up with a solution on that. So it's available here. You can reach out Pro Inception in case you see any problem during installation. So we'll be happy to help you. Okay, so that's about K2 5.9.1's built-in capabilities. Now we are going to talk about number 2, the custom solution Pro Inception has come up. So as I said earlier, 5.9.1 offers only the local LLM. So you cannot currently connect with the public LLM. For example, Gemini, you cannot do that for now, but it is coming expected this year from K2. So during that time, so we need to actually see how that is working. So we have a use case where we have to read the data from an invoice file being uploaded, and the data should be extracted and put it into the fields in the smart form correctly. So for that use case, what we have done is we have created a .NET solution which will be talking to Gemini LLM with a prompt and the invoice being uploaded. So the Gemini returns the data, capture the extracted data in JSON format, and then we have a stored procedure in SQL which will parse the JSON and then return the columns like properties using smart object. So you can see that we capture the PDF, and then we have a broker DLL written by ProInception using .NET, and which is connecting to Gemini LLM and then returning as smart objects. And then we have a workflow to validate that. We will see this one also as a demo moving forward. Okay, so we chose Gemini as a custom LLM for our use case because that is fitting our requirement. And this is, we just want to show you how actually the code that is used to connect to Gemini and return the get the results and process further. So this is just the gist of the code. If anybody interested to know that further, you can email to Brent Subson. We'll be happy to connect and help you on that. Okay, so I think we can directly jump into a demo. So we are going to see two demo. One is to see the K2 built-in capability. Second one is to see ProInception's custom solution. Okay, give me a moment. Let me switch to the VM. All right. So I just wanted to show you that there will be a new service called K2 Intelligence Service. Just like we have the K2 server and K2 configuration service after installing the K2 Intelligence here. Okay, so I think it's time to go and see the POC. So let's begin with K2 built-in capabilities. Okay, so there is a form. Okay, so this is a form where we are just collecting feedback from a customer regarding their grievance, or they have any feedback. We are going to collect it, and we are going to send this to the K2's LLM to analyze and get the sentiment of it, the severity of it, the language used, and one more. Okay, so we will see that here in demo, and I will show you how we have actually built it. I will show the code also later. Okay, I'm just filling some sample data. Okay, just a regular use case. Okay, so I had that here, description and subject. Okay, so we will be passing this description to LLM and get the results and show. So when you click submit, actually it is making a call to K2's LLM, and it is processing that and returning the results. So now let's see, I should get one task. I can just quickly check. Wait, there is a delay. Give me a moment, please. Let me just quickly check this workflow if there is an error. I think the system is a bit slow. It's really slow today. It looks like there's no error. Maybe it is taking some time to process. Okay, I think I got one task. So when I open the task, we can see that it has already completed the analysis and given us the results, which is the default K2 AS capability. So we can see the severity, sentiment, language here, and also the summary of the description. Sorry for that, the system behaves a bit slow today. Please bear with me. All right. So here you can see what we gave as input first, and then at the bottom you can see the results from K2A's capability. So I said that there are 4 items available currently out of the box. First is to check the sentiment. Okay, so K2 LLM decides that it is a negative feedback, and it says the reason for that, why it is saying this description, this feedback from the customer is having a negative sentiment. So we can see that reason as well here. Similarly, there is one more option to check the severity of it. So that model returned the severity as number 2 with this as a reason. Similarly, it also detected that the given feedback language is English, and it also gave a summary of the description. Actually, I gave a very small sentence, but if you give a paragraph, the summary will try to give you a shortened version of it. Okay. So, so this is the currently, as I said, AI, K2 AI provides you 4 tasks to check the sentiment, severity, language, and summary. That's why we have created this POC. Okay, so I would like to show some of the smart objects that K2 offers built in before moving on to our fluent substance custom solution. So here, let me start with the service instance. Okay, you can see we have a new service instance called K2 Intelligence Service, which comes after the installation. And then you can also see some of the built-in smart objects under K2 Intelligence Service category. So what I talked about is these 4: language, sentiment, severity, and summarization. Okay. So using these only, we have done that. So when you make a call to this smart object, you can pass the description of it, and it will return the output. For example, if it's a language, it will return what language it is. If it is sentiment, it will return what sentiment is, a negative or positive sentiment, like that. Okay. Similarly, we have other options. In the interest of time, I'm not going to cover this today, but I just want to highlight it, that you can create your own task here. Okay, and then you can use a prompt when you create a task. For example, we have created a new task called "Tell me a joke." Okay, so this will be actually using K2's own LLM and try to give some response. So when you create a AI task and then publish that, actually there is option to create a task and publish from K2 management itself. So you can see here, create a task and then publish a task, the same task. Then you will get A smart object, exactly. So this smart object was created just by creating a task and publish a task using a task. After creating that, you can go and execute something. So when you give some prompt, it will when you give a message, so it will use the prompt given during the creation of the task, and it will return the results related to that. For example, we have given the prompt is to return a joke, a decent joke. Okay, so with that context, it will actually give you the results if you give some input here. For example, if you ask a joke about kids, for example, then you can see that it is returning results related to that, but with the context that we have set when creating the a task called tell me a joke. Okay, so just give a few seconds for here. Yeah, so this comes as a response. Okay, so you can use it, you can call this smart object from the form and display it beautifully. Okay. So similarly, you can create your own task and use the capability of K2's LLM here. Okay, so yeah, that's it about K2's built-in LLM. Okay, but as I said earlier, you cannot pass a document to K2 LLM to process as of 5.9.1, but we're expecting such features available in the next release. Okay, so to overcome that, until that time, we have come up with a solution from Pro Substance side, a custom solution. Okay, so that's what I'm going to show you next. Okay, so let me go to the form. Okay, I'm going to show you one invoice document. You can see that we have information about invoice PO. So you can see even PO is not properly added. It is very small, and we have order date, invoice date, and the items here. So I'm going to upload this to the solution and see how it is actually extracting and displaying the data back. So this is the screen where I'm going to upload the invoice. And clicking on start processing, it's actually making a call to our custom solution and returning the results here. So please give a couple of seconds here. So after this is showing the result, I will show you how it is configured. So while this is processing, let me just go to the designer. Okay, this is loading. So let me check if this is finished. Okay, it's okay. Okay, it is finished. So you can see that it has extracted the data from the uploaded invoice document. For example, the date, number, even the PO number, which was not clearly mentioned, which is very small compared to other font sizes, but that was also extracted. Because if at all we use the OCR capabilities we have in the market, the third-party tools, it may not happen correctly. And that's why we rely on Gemini, so which is known for this kind of processing at higher rate percentage, success percentage. Okay, you can also see that it has extracted the items and other stuff here. Okay, so this is not possible currently with the K2's native LLM. Okay, so in 5.9.1, this is not possible. That's why we have created a custom solution. Okay, so let me just show you some of the items related to this solution. So we have, I think I showed you in the PPT, gist of code, which is connecting to the Gemini AI with a prompt. Then we create a service instance for that. So let me show you that. That's going to be anyway an endpoint assembly because we have created a .NET project and put that DLL in the server and created instance K2 endpoints assembly. So this is the assembly pointing to the DLL we created, and the DLL is actually connecting to Gemini AI to pass the document and get it extracted, get the results as JSON. Then the JSON is actually passed back to a stored procedure, SQL stored procedure, where it is converting JSON into a row format, and which gets inserted into a table. Okay, then from that table, the form queries the data and displays back in the actual fields. Okay. So that's how it's going on here. So, so let me go back to the PPT. Yeah. So this is what we were talking about. So this solution is done by ProInception, a custom solution. Meanwhile, K2 is actually working on that and expected that this will release this kind of features maybe in the end of this year or next year. Okay, so I'm just going through the next page in the PPT. I'm just moving ahead. Okay, so this is what we're supposed to see, but we have seen that already, the live demo about the K2's built-in capability and ProInception's custom solution. Okay, all right. So, so let me just hand it over back to Arvind, and then I think the question and answer session will be open for you to ask any question. Okay, thank you, everyone. I'm just handing over to Arvind. Arvind, back to you.
Thank you, Abdul. It was really a great session. So yeah, we are at ProInception. So yeah, obviously we are 10 plus years of working in the different regions, and we have delivered more than 150 enterprise level of solutions and project with the multiple customers. And obviously ProInception is Nintex premium partner. We are working on low code RPA, AI, and custom solution with the data analytics and Microsoft end-to-end. So yeah, that's all about ProInception, and thank you, everyone. I will open the question and answer session. If you have any questions, we are happy to answer that. Okay, if there are no questions, then thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining the call.
Thank you, everyone. Please reach out to ProInception if you need any answer. Thank you very much.